Okay. Hi everyone. Hello. Good evening. There you go. We are live also on YouTube. Again, I'll not be making that available for a very, very long time. So lucky are you who are in the Zoom right now. We are going to admit some other people who will be late pa, but we'll just start, okay? Since we are kind of a bit late with the schedule. Okay. How to know if your Facebook ads are working well. This is I think this is our first free webinar. We have had several live trainings. Trainings is a term that I use for the past Zoom sessions that I had. So since right now, this will be a more specific session. We're not talking about the basic setup to scaling here. We're talking about the specific thing. How do we know if our Facebook ads are working well? Okay, so if you can, I will really encourage you to please turn on your camera so I can see your faces, your beautiful faces. And also, if you have Instagram, or if you're on TikTok, you can take a video or whatever picture right now, and you can tag me on your stories. It's at John Cornell. Okay. So are you ready? Can you type number 1 in the chat box if you're ready? Come on, let me know if you're ready. Okay. That's nice. That's nice. Okay. So here are some rules. First, of course, keep your mic muted when not asked to speak. You may ask some questions also in the chat box while discussion is ongoing, but take note that we'll be having a 20-minute Q&A after the discussion. So you can prepare your questions if you have some questions already. And then please also participate. Typing 1 in the chat box right now is already participation. And turning on of cameras is highly encouraged. Now, I encourage you to stay until the end. There will be a freebie, and I'll not be selling you anything, okay? So just as disclaimers, not like other webinars maybe that you have been attending. I'm not going to sell you anything here, okay? So there is a freebie at the end. That's why I'm really encouraging you to stay until the end, okay? So I asked you, I think that this was yesterday. I posted in our Facebook group, in Ad Society group, and I asked you, what's the least CPM you got? When I say CPM, that's the cost per message, right? So some of you said no idea daw, but some of you said the numbers well, like 1.20 daw, average is 2.5 to 3. Dati, yun nung may iOS pa. Well, I don't know what Andres is meaning here, but maybe that was pertaining to the iOS issue. But by the way, guys, the iOS update doesn't have anything to do if, like, wala siyang significant na effect kung in Facebook lang naman yung action na hinihingi natin. Like, for example, cost per message. So, malaki lang yung impact niya if it's like you have a website, you have an app na pinopromote, like you're directing people there. Meron din nagsabi dito na ano ba, 4 pesos, merong 30 pesos, pero mataas yung ROAS. May mga magagandang comments dito, like it already somehow summarizes what I'm going to say and what I'm going to teach you through this webinar. Okay, now why is the need? Okay, bakit ba in-emphasize ko tong webinar na to as our first ever specific topic na webinar for the Ad Society? Well, I'm just tired of seeing posts. Hindi lang dito, I mean, kahit sa mga ibang groups. I'm also part of other Facebook groups. And it seems like may parang contest ng pababaan ng cost per message. And I don't see anything, parang it doesn't make any sense for me. I know most of the people there in some other groups are like having e-commerce na businesses. And maybe yung iba nagtatanong lang kung okay na ba tong CPM na to. And then sabi ng iba, okay na yan. Kasi yung sa akin nga, piso eh. Sa akin nga, below 1 peso. Yung iba, meron pang mga freelancers naghanap ng client. And then sinasabi sa portfolio, ayan, nagpakita ng screenshot, 0.50 pesos. Nako, 0.50 centavos for the cost per message. And it's somehow misleading for, especially if you're gonna be like looking at it in a business perspective. So yun yung ihahain ko ngayon sa lamesa, like more on business perspective ng how do you determine if your Facebook ads are working. Okay? So let me emphasize this. Wala pong competition ng pababaan ng numbers. Okay? There's no competition. Don't be sick of asking, ano ba talaga? Magkano ba talaga yung cost per purchase? Magkano ba yan? Okay, so that's what we are going to find out here through this webinar. And I want you to don't believe in standards. You may have searched on Google, what is the standard cost per purchase? And then this is the cost per, okay, those are based on, okay, sabihin na lang natin na database, but those are based on certain businesses and certain industries. And your business, the business that you're handling, may not be like aligned, okay, to that standard. So don't be pressured with standards, and there's really no competition here. Okay? So can I know first who among you here are freelancers or business owners? Can you type freelancer if you're a freelancer, a business owner if you're a business owner? So I can know like, ano ba, hindi na lang ako magpapapol, pero tatanungin ko lang dito. Okay, most, okay, freelancer, may mga business owners. Okay, so I assume that if you're a business owner, you might have tried already Facebook ads. And if you're a freelancer, then you might be, considering to offer this as a service for your clients. And I'm not sure if you have a Facebook ads client now, but this is something that will gonna be helpful. Okay? Sige. So, bakit ba walang competition? Bakit ba there's no standards? Because of these 5 varying na elements. There are varying profit margin or markup. Okay? Kasi baka sa akin, okay, profit ko sa isang product ko is maybe 500 pesos, pero sa iba 1,000 pesos, di ba? So there's a varying profit, there's a varying markup. And also there's a varying preferences. May ibang entrepreneurs na okay lang sa kanila ng ganito yung kita. There's also a varying goals. Di ba? So okay lang na ganito yung sales target natin, okay lang sa akin yun. There's a varying goal. And then also, there's varying audience. Okay? And there's varying ads. And it depends on your ads, audiences, goals, preferences, and profit margin or markup. Whatever your standard should be. And that's why I say, create your own standard. But how can we create that own standard? Okay? So first of all, you need to know these vital numbers. Okay? Kailangan yung alamin to. Una, yung average order value. Okay? So I think most of you already understand this. Basically, let's say you have a customer. What's the average value of the order kung bibili sila? Okay? So let's say you have an item worth 500 pesos. And then usually binibili ng customer is 2. So your average order value could be 1,000. Okay? Next is the lifetime value. This is greater than the average order value. Basically, the notion of lifetime value says na one customer could buy from you at first, dun sa simula, pero in the future, like maybe next month, next year, they will still buy another stuff from you. So that's the lifetime value. And lifetime value sometimes cannot be like easily computed. It might be computed, pero hindi siya in any way magiging accurate super. Kasi there will be others na, madaming bibilhin in the future. Meron ding iba na hindi na uulit. Okay? And then also there is something called markup rate. I know you know this already. Maybe like you have let's say you bought from a supplier 500 pesos worth, and then you have a markup rate of 30%. So that's like 150 pesos na markup rate, markup. And then your markup rate is 30%. Ito yung patong mo. Okay? So that's the colloquial term here, patong. And then here's the most important number that I always say that you should be seeing and analyzing when you want to know if your ads are working well. It's the ROAS, or the return on ad spend. Now the problem is, for most of the businesses here in the Philippines, wala tayong website. And most of us would go to what's the usual campaign na ginagamit? Can you type it in the chat box? Anong usual na hinihingi nyo ka Facebook? Website traffic ba agad? Kung wala akong website, saan sila pumupunta? Can I type it in the chat box? Messaging. Yes, messaging, di ba? Now, the problem is, there's a way, okay? And I think I already posted this on my YouTube channel, but there's no like parang direct way of computing your ROAS directly from the ads manager. Okay? Again, meron, and that's using the peso sign sometimes, pero sometimes it's not really accurate. So that's why I really encourage you to also do the manual computing. Okay? So those are the vital numbers. Now, are you ready? Are you ready to compute? Okay. Disclaimer, meron ditong mga math. Meron ditong mga math parts. Nandito na tayo sa part ng maraming mathematics. So sa mga may mga sakit sa numbers dyan, sorry na lang po. But we need to deal with this, okay? You'll be computing. Okay, if you could also check yung mga kinukompute ko mas maganda, like parang pwede lang siguro mag-chat ka sa chat box na mali yung mali yung na solve mo. Okay? Sige, here's our assumption. May isang gitara binibenta sa halagang 3,000 pesos. Okay? Now, the cost of that from the supplier is at 1,000 pesos. Okay? Isalin na dito na lang natin yung lahat ng cost of goods sold. Like, of course, yung freight, papunta sa shop mo. Basta yung other costs na, kumbaga, to get the stuff, to get the inventory, go to your shop or go to your warehouse. That's 1,000 pesos. Now, you decided na your markup percentage or your markup rate is 200%. So, yung markup mo is 2,000 pesos. Tapos, binenta mo na siya, yung so, binenta mo siya ng 3,000 kasi 1,000 plus 2,000 is 3,000, di ba? So, yung gross profit mo doon is 2,000. Now, meron kang other costs. Ito, sasabihin ko na lang to. There are other costs kasi maybe nagpa-free shipping ka, maybe consider na natin dito like, basta may mga ibang promos ka pa sa shop mo. So just consider na there is other costs ng 500 pesos. Now, in this case, what's our maximum ad cost to get one purchase? Now, ito, when you have this question should be answered by the business owner. Kasi ang daming I encountered a lot of messages to me, like yung freelancer or yung media buyer patuloy, yung magagawa pa ng ads, siya pa yung tinatanong, magkano ba yung cost per purchase dapat? The question should be directed to the business owner. Okay? Magkano ba yung kaya niyang igasto to get one purchase? Somehow that's also called cost per customer acquisition. But for this example, we'll be calling it cost per purchase. Magkano ba? Now, there's no formula for that kasi, again, that's based on preference. That's based on goal. Depende na yun kay business owner. Okay? Sige. Next part. So, we'll be assuming na yung maximum. So, maximum dapat maximum cost per purchase. So, assume na lang tayo na maximum cost per purchase na preference ni business buyer, business owner is 500 pesos. Okay lang sa kanyang gumasto ng 500 pesos para makakuha ng isang purchase. So, computing from the gross profit na 2,000 pesos, meron siyang other costs, promotional costs maybe, na 500 pesos, meron siyang maximum cost per purchase na 500 pesos. So, meron na lang siyang target net profit na 1,000 pesos. Tama ba? Baka may mali ako sa computation. Okay. I hope I made that clear. Now, eto, kailangan din natin to. Siyempre, yung average order value. Now, hindi naman madami yung binibiling gitara daw. So, assumption na lang natin is isa lang yung order talaga usually. So, that's the average. The average order value is only 3,000 pesos. Now, eto, target sales. Okay, hindi ito yung freelancer ulit yung tinatanong. Tinatanong ulit ito yung business buyer, yung business owner. Okay? So, yung business owner, ano ba yung goal niya in a week? How many guitars ba yung kailangan niya, gusto niyang maibenta? So in this case, 15 guitars yung assumption natin. Okay? In a week. Sige, let's continue. Now, okay, I will be explaining everything here. I hope you can see this blue thing. So you can see nasan na ako with the discussion. So this is the ROAS formula. So basically, you just divide the revenue by the total ad spend. So revenue is also called purchases conversion value mismo sa may ads manager. Okay? And based on kanina, yung target natin kasi is 15 guitars and then the average order value is 3,000 pesos. Now, if we multiply that, that's 45,000 pesos, tama? That's the revenue. And then, the ad spend, let's say na lang, gumasto lang siya ng 7,000 pesos in a week. Gumasto lang siya ng 7,000 pesos dun sa ads niya in a week. And so, dinivide natin, yung ROAS is at 6.43. Now, kung i-post nyo to sa iba-ibang Facebook group, tapos sabihin nyo naman, laki ng ROAS, kasi sabi ng iba, 2 ROAS daw, maganda na. Ay, nako. So, what's your basis again? Without knowing the other numbers beyond this, you cannot say that this is effective and this is profitable. Am I right? Are you still there? Okay. Sige. Let's continue. Now, there are 3 types of ROAS. Okay? The first one is, I call it, by the way, maybe others will say, I haven't seen this anywhere else. Gawa-gawa ko lang po tong tatlo na to. I just categorized it for the purpose of like easily understanding yung mga standards na dapat mong iset on your own. So we have what we call ideal ROAS. So basically, tinan nyo, it's the same formula, pero yung nilagay natin sa baba is the maximum cost per purchase. You remembered kanina, what's the maximum cost per purchase? Sige nga, can we review? Chatbox nga, 500. Galing, Romano, bilis ah. Okay, so that's 500, right? So 500 pesos yung maximum cost per purchase. So yung 500 pesos na yun, minultiply natin ng 15 kasi 15 yung sales target. Okay? 15 yung sales target. So tapos yung revenue, basically that's just 3,000 times 15. Okay? So we get the ROAS na 6 and that's your ideal ROAS. Okay? So pag may nagtanong kung magkano ba dapat yung ROAS ko, kung alam ko yung ibang numbers, ito yung i-compute ko. The ideal ROAS. Now, we also have another type of ROAS which is called break-even ROAS. Pansin nyo, yung denominator dito, hindi na maximum cost per purchase. It's already the gross profit. So yung kita natin kanina, yung gross profit kanina natin na that's 1,500. Right? Yeah, that's 1,500. Minultiply natin ng 7. Kasi 7 days, weekly yung natin dito ha, weekly yung assumption natin dito. So minultiply natin ng 7. And so that's why we got that number na 4.23. Okay? So that's our break even. Basically, kung ganito yung ROAS mo, wala kang kita, wala kang lugi. It's break even. Okay? Sige. Now, let's compute the losing ROAS. Yung losing ROAS is anything na above pa the gross profit. So let's say, assumption dito is 11,000 yung nilagay natin. So 4.1. So basically, anything below 4.23, that's your losing ROAS. Okay? So, based on this computation, so we got this na parang interval ng ROAS na kailangan ma-reach. So we can say that we're still profitable. 4.24 to 6. Kung lumagpas yan ng 6, congratulations. Mas marami kang kita. Pag bumaba yan ng 4.24, 4.23, break even ka pa. Pag bumaba pa, lugi ka na. Okay? So I hope you got that, ha? Now, why is this helpful again? Because this also reveals more. Itong mga more na to, ito yung mga usual na tanong din sa akin. Usual din na tanong sa group. Magkano ba dapat yung budget? Ito, ang dami nang nagpa-discovery call. Tatanungin ko, magkano po ba yung budget niyo po sa ads? Ay, magkano po pala dapat? Okay, sorry sa mga business owners. Pero again, this is not, the budget is not like a responsibility of the of the freelancer or someone who's running ads. You should determine how much you are willing to spend. Okay? So, how much ba talaga yung ideal ads budget? So, pwede mo yan siya ma-reveal through that process. Okay? Mamaya explain ko paano. Next, yung ideal conversion rate, 'di ba? May mga nagsasabi, "Oy, yung conversion rate ko ang taas, nasa 5%, 10%." So again, you need to look into your ideal conversion rate based on your own numbers. Okay? And so from that process also, you can determine kung magkano yung daily, weekly, and monthly sales target. And this could help your business, your team, right? This could help, let's say, okay, may customer service ka, may sales team ka. This could help them na, to gauge and to have a goal na, okay, dapat ito yung reach natin, ito yung sales natin sa isang araw, sa isang week, sa isang month. Okay, so paano ba? Okay, here it is. For the ads budget na ideal, di ba kanina yung maximum cost per purchase natin is 500 pesos. You're willing to spend 500 pesos to get one purchase, to get one customer. Now, another na question, di ba kanina din nag-provide tayo, ilan ba yung sales target mo? So let's say in a day, yung sales target mo is 5 guitars. So yung ideal ads budget mo is nasa 2,500 a day. You got it? So again, instead of just like guessing kung magkano ba dapat yung budget ko, dapat alam mo yung cost per purchase na kaya mong i-spend at saka yung target sales mo. Now, paano ba yung ideal conversion rate? So, take note of this. So, meron kang cost per message na 30.12. Sabihin na lang natin 30.12. Yung number of messages na na-receive mo is nasa 83 messages per day. Kasi yung budget mo, 2,500 pesos per day. Sasabihin ng iba, ang mahal, 30 pesos, 20 pesos. Now, yung target sales is, sabihin na lang natin, 3 guitars a day. So yung ideal conversion rate niya, kasi yung target lang naman niya na mabentang gitara sa isang araw, is 3. So yung ideal conversion rate niya is basically 3 divided by 83. So that's 3.6. So i-divide lang natin yung number of sales or number of conversions, number of customers. I-divide natin siya sa number of messages. That's your conversion rate. Baka magtanong na naman, what's really the anong magandang coach, anong magandang conversion rate? Many articles or blogs or reports may say na it's 3%. So sige, you can follow that. Pero again, compute your ideal conversion rate. Okay? Next, sa mga targeting naman, having goals, sales goals. So daily target, kung meron kang 5 guitars a day, of course, you can set na yung weekly target mo, 35 guitars. yung monthly target mo, 150 guitars a month. So from that process, you can determine these sales targets. Okay? Sige. So remember, again, lifetime value is greater than the average order value. So in this example, we have just assumed na isa lang yung usual na order ng isang customer. Pero as a business owner, you need to work as a business owner or someone, a social media marketer, you should work on developing strategies that will increase the potential na bibili ulit yung mga nakuha mong customer. Again, you may have spent 500 pesos to get one customer, pero it will depend na on your marketing strategy kung paano mo sila ipapabili ulit. So that's why common recommendations that I give to business owners and social media marketers is to maximize building a community for your brand. That's having a Facebook group. What else? Email marketing, because you can easily retarget people like through email. That's why you're here, because I got your email. So I built a community. Right? So yung lifetime value ng isang customer could be greater than the average order value. So maximize all of the ways of, like, all of the marketing strategies that you could do so you can encourage them to buy more in the future. Ito yung dahilan bakit may mga loyalty cards yung ibang brands. Because they want you to buy again. And that will increase your lifetime value to them. So nakuha, for example, nakuha kong customer si Princess, nakuha kong customer si Princess sa ads ko. So nagbayad ako ng 500 pesos kay Facebook to get Princess. Pero, okay, so nagkaroon na lang ako ng 1,000, sabihin natin 1,000 na net profit. Pero yung 500 pesos na yon, if maganda yung remarketing strategy ko, later on, mapapataas ko yung lifetime value niya. So, technically, mas liliit yung cost per purchase ko. Papaliit yung cost per customer acquisition, kumbaga. Kasi, mas lumaki na yung value ng isang customer sa akin. So, bumili na siya second time, third time, fourth time. Diba? So, sulit na sulit kahit na umabot ng 1,000 pesos to get one customer. Basta meron ka mga remarketing strategy. Huwag mo silang pabayaan. Kaya yung usually ginagawa ng iba, hanggang interest targeting lang. Interest targeting to the max, forever. Walang tigil na interest targeting. Tapos walang remarketing. Tapos sasabihin, ay wala namang hindi naman working yung Facebook ads. You're not doing it well. Again, Facebook ads will get you to the eyes of people, get you to the target, get you to your target market. But organic marketing will still help you. Okay? Other ways of marketing will still help you, kumbaga, maximize the cost of your ads. Okay? So, kaya, for business owners here, wag po masyadong mataas agad yung expectation with Facebook ads. Sasabihin, mag-ads na lang ako kasi hindi naman ako nakaka-reach ng mga tao sa Facebook page. Okay, sige. But please don't leave your organic marketing behind. Your others marketing strategies behind. Okay? Again, it can get you the eyes, pero retain the customers as much as possible. Okay? Sige. Of course, yung mga values kanina, it may change. Hindi yan permanente. When you compute you compute right now, it may change. And please update always. Update. Let's say, baka nag-iba na pala yung average order value. Diba? So, update. And then, we have also another point here, which is dapat, sana, weekly and monthly analysis. Hindi yung, di ba yung ginawa natin is nag-weekly tayo. So, hindi siya daily analysis. Bakit? Kasi, it's very fluctuating kung gawin natin siyang daily. Super fluctuating siya. But if you do it weekly, monthly, it's much better. Tapos longer term, mas magandang data. Okay? And mas better na reference. Okay? For your decisions. Okay? Now, another thing is better ads and targeting, of course, lower cost. Pag mas maganda yung ads mo, mas nakaka-help sa user experience, So that will get lower cost. And then, again, another thing that I always repeat, don't stop testing. Ibig sabihin na nag-work ngayon is mag-work yan forever. Okay, don't stop testing. Okay, wag mo na doon. Ano ba yung nakita nyo? Do you want a template, guys? Do you want a template?
Yes.
Can you type yes in the chat box if you want a template? Okay, before tayo mag-proceed dun sa template, maybe you have some questions muna before we proceed with that. Okay? Sige. Ano muna tayo? Questions muna tayo. Let's stop sharing muna, ha? And then we have roughly 20 minutes to have a like Q&A if ever you have questions, and then later on I will be sharing the template. Okay. So you can raise your hand if you have some questions. Tapos unmute. Patingin ako nung beautiful face. Wala bang questions? Really? Walang question? Hindi katulad dati, grabe. Anong oras na natapos? Ang daming questions. Do you have questions again?
Sa chat, Coach, mayroong question si Marchie.
Okay.
How much daw yung consultation?
Okay. About that, just DM on Instagram about that. Again, I will not be selling you anything here. Ayaw natin ng ganun. Any other questions? Wala ba? Kasi nalaman yung may template kaya wala kayong questions. Okay, we have one question. Romano, okay, go. If you can turn on your camera, much better. Ay, ano ba yan? Napindot lang?
Hello po, Coach.
Yes, yes.
Good evening po. Just wanna ask po if sa pag-analyze po nung metrics, like di ba po weekly, ano po yung masasuggest nyo? Ilang weeks po yung para good amount of data na pwedeng i-analyze? Like minimum of 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah, I usually say 5 to 7 days. So that's like almost a week. But if you could do a week, my simplest explanation for that is you wanna test in all days of the week. Kasi meron ibang, let's say, wala. I mean, maybe your target market, wala sila during, I mean, they're not using Facebook during weekday. Baka nandun lang sila sa weekend. So that's why you really need to test all days of the week.
I mean,
much better. Yeah.
I mean po yung, di ba po yung pag-analyze po ng data is yung weekly na result po, hindi po yung per day?
Yes, much
tama
better.
Po ba? So,
Yep.
pag, for example po, i-analyze nyo yung per campaign, mga ilang weeks po dapat yung minimum?
Para what? Para you could take action? Like, edit it?
Yung parang good amount of data na mga 3 weeks, yun lang i-analyze. Okay na po ba yun? Or okay na yung 2 weeks na i-analyze?
Wait. Well, you should not stop analyzing. You should not stop analyzing. Walang katapusan yung pag-analyze.
So
Always
wala
and
po
always
required
dapat
na minimum.
analyze mo. Yes. Weekly, like when we do ads for clients, like we really do weekly analysis and we also have monthly analysis. And that will not end.
Oh.
So mas maganda meron kang weekly, and then meron ka ding for the whole month. And then you will see the numbers. Tapos, of course, you need to base your future decisions on those numbers. Okay, you will see na, okay, mas performing yung video ad. Okay, let's create more. And then, okay, analyze ka ulit. What type of video yung mas nag-work? Okay, yung video na parang TikTok lang, raw video lang. Okay, sige, let's create more. Sige, we'll see naman what works. That's why don't stop testing. Walang end yung analysis. It will always be there until walang until. I will not say until. So it will
Okay
also...
po, Coach. Thank you po.
Okay. Sige, we have another question. What time you do scaling, Coach, if out of topic na po. Pwede po naman hindi sagot. What time? What do you mean what time? Marchi? Can you unmute for this? Like, what do you mean what time? Nung oras ng araw? Or like, when's the appropriate time? Like, kailan
Yes,
dapat?
coach.
Yeah.
Hello.
Ano yun? Yeah, sige, go.
Oo. Once makita mo na winning ad set siya or campaign, yun coach, may exact time ko ba, particular time na nag-i-scale?
Well, if I see an ad that performs better than the other and it's profitable, then there's no other reason for me to not scale. Basta, don't scale too much. Like my rule is 20 to 50% of the budget.
20%, coach.
20 to
Okay.
50%. Yep. Huwag kayong mag-scale ng
Okay.
500 pesos ngayon tapos bukas 5,000 pesos. Sabog yung cost nyo for sure. Okay? Sige.
Okay, thank you.
Sige, Marchi. What's recommended po kapag alam na yung market? A week-long ad or a daily ad na specific sa daily market? Ses, again, medyo hindi ko nakukuhang masyado to. Can you unmute?
Hi, what I
Yeah.
mean po is like, paano pag yung, kunwari, on Monday, more on like 18 to 24 years old ang nag-engage, then on Tuesday, more on like 30 to 35 years old. Mas maganda po bang yung ad mo would be running for a week na parang average ng buong week ang demographics, or yung ad po ay daily maglalagay ka ng ad na specific dun sa nakita mo market sa daily.
I think your question is parang yung sa analysis na ulit to, kung magbabase ka ba sa daily or weekly, tama?
Guess yes po.
Yeah, again, it should be weekly, at least weekly. That's what I recommend. Kasi alam nyo, kung mag-a-analyze kayo daily, aside na sobrang matrabaho to, na I mean, every day mag-check ka agad, I mean, you will also be tempted to edit ad from a daily basis. Like ito yung usually nangyayari, hindi lang nag-work ng one day, papatayin agad. Hindi lang nagbibigay ng result na you are expecting, papatayin agad after just 1 day, 2 days. Let it run. Again, sometimes kasi yung mindset is parang same lang yung mga tao na nakakakita per day. Hindi po same yung mga tao na nakakakita per day. Facebook is testing that every single day with a different group of people, different subgroup of people under that targeting option. So dapat hindi siya daily na analysis, at least weekly. Ses?
Okay po, thanks.
And take note then, guys, when you are testing, make sure that you have only one variable. Like, control your variables. If familiar pa kayo with research thing to science. Control your variables. So let's say, nagte-test ka nga, pero yung isang ad set mo, 5 interest na very varied, tapos yung isa namang na ad set mo, 10 interest na very varied. So, that's the point of testing. So, you wanna know kung ano yung mas effective. Okay? So, dapat yung variable mo is controlled. Dapat mas maganda isa lang. Okay? Kasi for example, let's say sa ad naman, nag-iba ka ng copy, nag-iba ka din ng picture, or nag-iba ka din ng creative. Photo yung isa, video yung isa, magkaiba din yung copy, mag-iba yung caption. So paano mo malalaman kung ano yung nakapa-help to make the results better? Since dalawa yung variable mo, so maguguluhan ka. So better if you maintain one variable when you test. Okay?
Happy po.
Sige. There are some cases wherein after a couple of weeks or months of posting an ads, there are some accounts that are banned by Facebook. How can we avoid it? Is there any way to recover suspended? How can you avoid it? Be familiar with the policies, ad policies. Pag merong rejected na ads, take note, go to account quality and see if anong anong mga violations and take note of the violations. Now, if you believe that that's not a violation, wag kang magsabi kay Facebook na hindi naman tama, hindi naman yung violation pag hindi mo naman nabasa yung policies. Okay, be familiar with the policies. You can just search that Facebook ad policies. Okay? And then if kung na-suspend ka naman or na-ban or na-restrict, then you can just go to account quality and then review request review. Pag ayaw talaga, you can appeal. There's no hack to that. You just need to follow it. Okay, there's no hack to that. And please understand na, of course, Facebook or Meta is it's a business. And so somehow also tayong users, we are the product. Tayo po yung produkto. And they want to ensure excellent user experience. So pag meron ka lang dyan ads na magsasabi 10K in just 1 week, pakita ng cheque. Yun, multi-level marketing policy, goodbye. You might be restricted. Oy, eto nakakapag best weight loss the best slimming product in the market. Papayat you will get slim then lose 20 kilos in just 1 week. Do you think that will promote good user experience? No, that's under the policy na personal health. And most slimming products are attacked. Kumbaga, are violating this because it gives it generates negative self-perception. Ito yung explanation ni Facebook. May ibang magpo-post ng belly tapos abs sa tabi. So it promotes negative self-perception. Ayaw yun ni Facebook. That's negative user experience. Goodbye. That could be rejected and your ad account may be restricted. So again, that's why you need to be familiar with the policies. Take some time to read the policies. And of course, there are some times na hindi naman tama yung pag disable, pag restrict. Inaamin naman in Facebook because most of the time AI naman talaga yung nagche-check. And AI is not perfect. And so that's why you just need to request review if kaya pa. Okay? Naka-affect ba ang VPN sa pag-track ng FB Pixel? Of course. Of course, because that's a ano yung VPN? Virtual privacy network, tama ba? Kumbaga, it somehow changes your location. So that might affect, syempre, kasi kung makita na matrack ka na nasa, let's say, you're based in Australia kasi naka-VPN ka tapos bumili ka dun sa website na yon, so yung Pixel makakakuha siya ng maling data. So parang it will not really help out yung sa tracking much likely. So yeah. What else? After testing, pwede na po ba mag-multiple interest? Yeah, pwede. You can do that. Pag samasamahin mo yung winning interests. Yeah, you can do that. I think it's called horizontal. I think that's the horizontal scaling. I need to review, guys. But there's that scaling type na ganun yung ginagawa. And there's also another scaling type na pag-increase lang ng budget and add more audiences. Okay? Okay. Sige. Ito na yung hinihintay nyo Ano kayo Meron pa ba tayong Meron ba mga tao sa YouTube, Chris? Baka pwede silang masendan din natin ng link.
Yes, Coach. Meron akong nakita kanina.
Okay, sige. Can we run a conversion campaign without a website or landing page? Yes, pwede naman. Messenger. Pero of course, conversion campaign is like having a higher bidding. So you will just expect a higher cost. That's why if ever you want to try Messenger lang naman, then go to Messenger messages na lang. Pag nag-multiple interest, doon po ba mas okay gamitin yung CBO? Not really, guys. Ako, recommended ko when you really test ABO sa akin kasi I just want to have like one variable and everything is just the same. So kasi yung nangyayari sa CBO, mas mataas yung i-spend niya sa isa kaysa sa isa. So I just want the two ad sets to have the same budget for the day para I could like have the variable one lang. So that's the interest or the targeting. Hindi na dadagdag yung budget as another variable. Okay? Sa bawang business po na walang build na community, weekly pa rin po bang suggested testing ng ads to find that right target market? Yes, of course. Okay, I don't want you to perceive Facebook ads as a quick reach scheme. Please stop that. Okay, kasi yung iba iniisip agad, magkaka-result agad ako in just few days. Hindi eh. It's not that eh. Manage your expectations well. Okay? Again, ayoko mag-hype lang dito. I want to teach you honestly. Okay, this is gonna be the last question. Ang haba pa naman ito. Nagka-prob kami ng client ko sa dati namin kinuha ng Facebook Ads Manager. Siya yung nag-admin ng business account ni client, then si client as employee. Pinask namin siya na gawing admin si client kasi hindi daw niya ma-edit kasi restricted yung ad account niya. Ngayon, hindi kami makapag-run ng ads si client dahil hindi namin magalaw. Paano po kaya pwede gawin namin, coach? Well, if you don't own the business account, then that's really a risk for you. That's why if you're a business, you should have your own ad account, your own business account. Everything should be your own, and then bigay ka lang ng access for the freelancer or the media buyer that's going to work on that. Now, medyo mahirap na yan, to be honest, Camille. I think, yeah, isang student namin sa AdLab, ganun yung case, like nagpa-train siya ulit kasi kailangan nilang mag-start again from scratch kasi yung agency na naka-work nila dati, sila yung gumawa ng page. And so wala silang control sa page. So yung term pa nga niya, ninakaw. So sadly, we could not really control that much. If ever naman na like maybe you can talk to that yung naka-work ninyo, you can just talk, pag-usapan niya na lang about these things privately. Baka naman okay na yung niya, account niya. So pwede nang ilipat yung ownership. Kung page lang naman, wait, page ba to? Ad account, pwede naman siguro yung kahit yung page na lang ilipat. Pero you can create your own business account naman in a client. Don't hesitate to make your own. You can do that without even needing the other person's help. Everyone can create a business account except kung restricted ka na. Sorry guys. So again, recommended ko na lang is you can just borrow accounts from your friends or family members. That's it. So wag kayong bumili.
Coach, may question from YouTube.
Yes.
Isa lang. Ano daw ba ang mas maganda? Daily po ba na budget or lifetime budget?
When you're testing, I would recommend go to daily budget, like sa simula. Kasi again, remember about the one variable thing that I said? So we want, again, so again, we're testing, let's say, 2 interests. Okay, 1 interest dun sa isang ad set, 1 interest dito sa isang ad set. Now, kung maglagay ka ng lifetime budget, sabihin mo 5,000 pesos in 10 days. So, pwede sa isang araw, mababa sa 1,000, mababa sa 500 pesos. Pwedeng isang araw, mataas sa 500 pesos. Fluctuating yan kung lifetime budget. Pero kung daily budget, when you're testing, you're retaining the variable to be 1, which is yung interest mo. Diba? So, again, it will always go down to how many variables do you have ba? The more the variables, the more nasasakit yung ulo mo. The more na hindi accurate yung kumbaga yung magiging result ng analysis mo. So much better control the variables, much better daily budget when you're testing. And then maybe if you have certain promotions and whatnot, then you can just have lifetime budget if may proven ka na talaga na, let's say, numbers. Let's say, sa isang araw, nakakagasta naman talaga ako ng 1,500 eh. So, and then meron kang, let's say, for example, a promotion, then you can have a lifetime budget na lang that since, di ba, ang promotion meron siyang, let's say, end date. So, pwede yung lifetime budget if you have that. Pero when you're testing, much better. You do the daily. Okay, Chris, wala na?
All good, Coach. Thank you.
Okay, sige. Ito yung hinihintay ng lahat eh. Bibigay ko ba? Parang ayaw niyo. Parang ayaw nyo na, oh. Konti na lang kayo dito. Ay, hindi, marami pa pala.
Dumadagdag
Ayaw nyo na?
pa po.
Okay, sige. Sige, you want a template?
Make some noise na.
Okay, so of course, meron mo ng kapalit. We want to know how was this webinar for you, and we wanna kumbaga I want to improve this, for the better in the next coming months. So again, we will be doing this regularly. So like at least once a month talaga dito sa Ad Society. Okay? So fill in evaluation form muna. Ano lang naman you'll just answer some questions. Madali lang to, Google form lang to, guys. Okay? Dito. Walang correct answer dito. Chris, pasend na lang ako, Chris. And then after that, ayun, nasend na ni Chris. After that, sa last part, submit. Pag natapos na, merong email form, lagay nyo ng email nyo kung saan ko isi-send yung template, and then marireceive nyo na yung template. And it comes with tutorial videos. Okay? So additional tutorial video, how to maximize it. Okay? Sige.
Thank you, Coach.
Sige, hintayin na lang muna natin kasi baka mawala eh. Chris, can you monitor? Nasa hi at John Cornel to na drive. Can you monitor the form? Kung ilan?
Alright.
Titingnan natin. Parang 50 people eh.
Opo.
Kung meron mag-submit.
Possible din po ba sa YouTube?
Yes, isend mo na lang dun sa YouTube. Meron nagtanong?
Ayun.
Ilan yung viewers natin sa YouTube? 10,000?
Meron tayong 17,000. 17,000 na viewers.
Okay. Sige, pa-monitor ako kung talagang sumasagot ba sila. Sige, while you're answering or kung tapos ka na, pwede ka pa rin mag-ask ng question. Again, nasa pag-submit nyo, nandun na yung link kung saan nyo pwedeng ilagay yung email ninyo ulit para ma-receive nyo. Wait, by the way, I know all of you guys are part of my email list. So para marami kasing tanong, hindi daw nila na-receive agad yung email. So add me as a contact na lang para nasa primary inbox lang tayo. Hindi tayo napupunta sa spam. Okay? Baka next time, hindi na ako mag-announce dun sa Facebook groups na sa email list na lang. Meron na ba tayong mga sagot, Chris?
Yes, Coach. Meron na tayo. Isa-isa
Ilan na
lang
sila?
nagpa-pop up yung mga answers natin.
Sige, ilan na sila ngayon? Kasi baka yung mga nagsabi kanina dito, yes, gusto na nila ng template. Oh.
Meron tayong 3 so far.
Okay, sige. Hintayin natin
Siniseryoso
na.
niya.
Oo. Uy, maganda yun kung siniseryoso nila kasi gusto natin ng magandang feedback.
True.
Oh, and also guys, you merong question dyan na ano yung mga topic suggestions ninyo, and we will, of course, in our future webinars, mga free webinars about this, I will base that also. Again, that will really help us make more valuable content.
Ayan, meron ng 8. Meron tayong question from YouTube, Coach.
Yes, sige. Ano yan?
Sabi niya, meron daw siyang, wait lang po. Hi, Coach. I have question. I have product, pero hindi pwede gumamit ng FB ads. Any tips daw po?
No, I have product. What do you mean? Meron siyang product tapos hindi pwedeng mag-ads? Do you mean na parang hindi siya pasok sa policy? Or wala
Yun
siyang...
lang kasi po yung inanan niya.
Well, kung hindi ka nakakaroon ng Facebook ads, maximize lang muna yung organic means mo. Maximize TikTok. Maganda yung organic reach TikTok. And it's already not an excuse for a business to have a TikTok account. So, have a TikTok account, please. Ako na yung nagmamakaawa. Businesses, you should have your own TikTok account right now. Maximize the organic reach. Okay? Use Facebook ads to amplify your marketing. And kaya kahit, alam nyo, isa to sa mga pag-usapan muna natin to. Ilan na ba yung napasa na, Chris? Naka-20 na tayo, wala pa. Naka-mute ka.
Ay, sorry, coach, nakamute ako. Meron na tayong 18, coach. 20.
Okay, sige. Sige lang muna.
22.
Pag-usapan muna natin. Sige nga,
23.
sige. I want to know in the chat box. Pwede ba yung mga bagong businesses mag-ads agad? Like, what do you think? Sige nga, yung mga tapos na nag-answer ng evaluation form. Do you think ideal sa mga bagong businesses na mag-ads agad? Wala, hindi daw. Wala. Depende. Ay, gusto ko may depende. Gusto ko talaga sagot yung depende. Safe siya, tapos most of the time it really makes sense. Marchie, sige na, share mo na.
Hi, Coach.
Sige, okay.
Oo.
Turn on ka naman ng camera para makita ka
Coach.
dun sa YouTube.
Ay, niya ako.
Ayan, sige, go. Pinatay ko yung, nag-stop sharing ako para mas makita ka. Sayang.
Spotlight natin yan.
Depende, coach, kasi 'di ba may rule tayo na yung Facebook kailangan at least 3 months. Tama ba?
What do you mean at least 3 months?
Yung bago ka makapag-run ng ads.
Kaninong
Yung-
rule yun?
Napanood ko sa YouTube.
Hindi, yung 3 months na sinasabi ko, yung Facebook account mo, na huwag ka
Yes
munang
po.
gumawa ng business account. Okay. Pero hindi. Meron na siyang Facebook account na mature na.
Okay.
So you think okay pa rin na mag-run siya agad ng ads doon sa page niya? Depende pa rin?
Kailangan mag-build ka muna ng
Ng?
organic. Try mo muna yung organic. Kailangan muna i-build yung brand mo. Tama ba?
Galing. Palakpakan naman natin, no? May emoji dapat na pakpak for,
Grabe ka, coach.
Come on. Marchie, wala bang dyan? Wala bang mga reactions na, clap, okay. Very good. Okay, sige. Thanks, Marchie. Gusto ko itong
Welcome,
ganito.
coach.
I want a very interactive discussion. Okay, while waiting, you fill up the form, guys. Oy, may mga sagot dito, Sabi, pwede, sir, for awareness. Okay, let's listen to, Seronoa Sales. Sige na, samahan niyo naman ako magsalita dito. Kakahiyang ako lang parati. Ay, hala, nagpatay ng camera. Sorry po. For awareness. Sige, for awareness. Sige, pwede. Pero gusto ko sana makarinig from you eh. Pwede siguro to amplify their organic reach. Mayi, tulungan mo naman ako to understand this. Ayaw pa rin? Ayaw ni Mayi? Build an organic daw and improve awareness first. Sige. So, eto, ako, sagot ko dyan, well, somehow the same with what Marchie said. Maximize really first your organic and then really build your brand before launching ads. Pero, okay, here's the pero. If you have like, may capital ka talaga and then you really nag-allot ka talaga ng budget for advertising, okay, please do so. Pero ako even as someone who run ads for clients, I would rather, kung konti lang naman yung budget ni client, let's say hindi niya kaya yung 500 pesos na sinasabi kong minimum a day, then okay, siguro go with organic first, and then siguro you can invest on building the branding guidelines first. Again, yung branding, hindi lang yun yung logo, everything, like knowing more about, what are your unique selling propositions, yung competitive advantage mo, diba? Maybe have more, better product packaging, yun, persona, that's it. That's another thing. Again, knowing more about your audience. Kasi kung bagong business ka, pupunta ka agad sa Facebook ad, mag-run ka agad ng ads. Kasi hindi mo nga kilala yung audience mo, hindi mo alam kung sino yung mga target market mo, sasabihin mo lang sa akin na lahat naman pwedeng bumili. bakit ako magtatag isa-isa ng mga target audience? Lahat naman pwedeng bumili. 'Di ba? Anong sense nito kung lahat naman bibili? Pero again, you need to find a way for you to be parang kumbaga you have a competitive advantage because you cannot say no to sabihin mo agad na wala kang mga competition. Always and always you will really have your competition. Pero depende yun sa'yo how you make your competition irrelevant. Need ba talaga VPN handle TikTok account na ako? Bakit TikTok account na yung napag-usapan? Pero yeah, I think that's better. Kasi iba din kasi yung bigay sa'yo ng algorithm kung ilang ibang country. Okay, ilan na tayo sa form, Chris?
Almost complete na tayo, Coach. We have
Okay, sige.
4 responses.
Guys, may nakita kayong link? Uy, hala, baka hindi nyo clinic yung link. Nag-click kayo ng link, may nakita kayong link sa submit, after ng submit. Andun yung Okay, nakita nyo? Dapat clinic nyo, ha? Okay, click that, provide your email, and then you will receive that. Okay, sige. And you will also receive mga additional na guide. Chris, can you see my screen?
Yes, Coach.
Okay, sige. Next announcement. Ayan, tayo yung I think na-announce ko na din to eh. Pero ito parang advance na kayong mga nandito ngayon nanonood ng live. Tapos kayong mga nandito ngayon sa Zoom, kayo yung kumbaga nakakaalam sa date, first na nakaalam sa date. So we will be we'll be having our first ever it's a free live consultation. Okay? So apat lang yung slots per session. Okay? 4 lang yung slots per session. And then the first na i-implement natin to is on June 28. That's 6 to 7 p.m. So kada isa roughly 15 minutes lang yung slot. So what you can do, you can maybe share your ad account, and then let's figure out kung anong mas may improve mo pa doon sa ads na yon. Or anong may improve mo doon sa campaign na yon. Okay? And of course, we'll be going kumbaga as someone would like to avail the free live consultation, of course kapalit lang naman doon, of course you need to somehow publicize some of the information, no? Pero ikaw na bahala kung mag-share ka ba ng screen or may sabihin ka lang ng mga figures or mayroon ka lang photo about your ad. So ikaw na bahala doon. So it will be first come first serve basis. And then yung Zoom katulad pa rin ito, pwedeng magsumali lahat. Pwede kayo mag-join sa Zoom, pwede din kayo manood ng live doon sa YouTube. Okay? So ganito yung mangyayari. Orient ko na kayo lahat, ha. We will be posting sa Facebook group, sa Ad Society, na open na yung slots for this. Hindi ko sasabihin kung kailan namin ipopost. Okay? Si Chris na bahala doon. Hindi namin sasabihin kung kailan, pero dapat magbantay kayo doon sa group. Okay? Kasi, paunahan to. Yung first 4 na comments, kung sino yung 4 na yon, sila yung iti-take note na, okay, magbibigay kami ng kung ano yung, let's say, 6 to 6:15 p.m., sino yung kukuha nito? Or like kung sino yung magko-comment first, sila na yung makakuha ng slots. Okay? So, kaya din nag-encourage ako na baka mapuno agad yung 4 slots for that live consultation. Kaya I encourage you to join the Zoom kasi baka hindi maka-attend yung isa. So, ikaw papalit. Okay? So, ganun yung proseso. And again, maybe meron din tayong time pa para sa Q&A, so you can just join the Zoom session. And I think mas better yung experience pag andito ka, kasama kita sa Zoom session. Okay? Sige, that's our free live consultation. Thank you. If Wala na ba kayong questions? Tag me on Instagram, tag me on TikTok if you can. Wait lang, baka may mga hindi ba nakaklik? May mga hindi daw nakaklik, no? Okay, kung hindi kayo nakaklik nung link, eto, ibibigay ko na lang. Wait. Wait lang. Yes, Michael, ano yun? Hindi ka nakaklik ng link?
Coach, magandang gabi po. Nag-click
Yes.
po ako, coach, kaso lang po hindi ko po siya agad natanggap. Automatic po bang ma-receive namin sa email po or maya-maya pa po?
It may take some time, depende yan lalo na kung magkasabay-sabay kayo. Pero yeah, it may take some time. Here's the link na lang, guys, if you want. Don't send this to anywhere kung kanino. Kung yung mga hindi nakaklik ng link. Ito.
Okay po, coach. Thank you po. Thank you po.
Yeah. Tsaka again, you go to the you go to spam or promotions, check niyo doon, baka andun lang nakatago. And add this as a contact sa email para nasa primary inbox nyo ulit ako. Kasi on the, 'di ba, masisend sa inyo yung template, tomorrow meron ding kumbaga it's a sequence kasi. Tomorrow merong tutorial how you can maximize. And then the other day then merong another. Basta merong bonus dyan, kayo na bahala kung anong gagawin niyo dyan. Okay, so if you're happy with the template, you can just tag me on Instagram, whatever, that's already enough as a thank you. And then soon enough, we'll be producing more and more free resources for you. Okay ba yan sa
Sige
inyo?
po, coach. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Michael. Okay ba? Are you satisfied with this training? I hope babasahin ko na lang mamaya yung yung mga feedback na. Dapat hindi kayo nagpa-plastic. We will be having more of this soon. So of course, if you're in my email list, you'll be notified first. Okay? So, ayun. Thank you so much and I hope to see you soon. Again, paunahan dun sa next na live consultation. So prepare. Thank you, everyone. You can leave the room now. Mag-uusap lang kami ni Chris. And then natin yung live Chris sa YouTube.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye po, coach. Thank you po.
Bye-bye. Wala tayong picture. Wag na lang. Chris, nakalimutan natin picture.
Kaya nga po